25, how many? 25 years ago. And you didn't have to question who was Bobby and who was Barbara. You didn't have to question this athlete who won the decathlon in the Olympics, and he was a man named Bruce Jenner. And now he's on television. He couldn't have been on television 25 years ago. I assure you. He couldn't have been on the magazine 25 years ago. I assure you. And I'm not arguing right now, right or wrong. I'm just talking about a change. I'm talking about a context. I'm talking about a circumstance. And see, you were born at a specific place, in a specific time, for a specific purpose. And to understand your purpose in life, you want to first understand the context and the circumstance in which you were placed. Somebody say amen. So you see, you want to understand that context because things have changed. And so in the life of Moses, we see that in chapter 1, they abused the Israelites. And God multiplied them. And God developed them. And God grew them. And they increased. Now, I don't know about you, but I had a cousin. And his name was Tolan. And we were like brothers. We grew up all of our lives together. And he was my cousin, and I was his cousin. And that's how it was. And if you don't want no problem, that's how it is. And so we was cousins. And we went everywhere together. You know, we did good stuff together and bad stuff together. But that was my kinfolk, and we were family. We were close. And so, man, I remember they told me one day that somebody had shot my cousin's house. And I wasn't a gangster. I was an athlete. But that's my cousin. We're real close. And so I go to his house to find out what happened. And we're talking about what happened, and we're all upset about it. And now we're going to play basketball. Make the long story short, we got sidetracked on the way, and I got shot in the process. But at least it was for my cousin. Make the long story short, he's been gone a long time. He didn't make it to 21. He's been gone a long time, man. My cousin. You've had some that left already. You've known some. Why you stayed? Why did God allow you to remain? When the Israelites were working, enslaving, some of them died by the sheer volume of work. They just died. Why God let you make it? Why God let you come here today? A lot of people didn't make it today. Natalie, why did God allow you? You want to see the circumstance. You want to pay close attention to the context. And then the story in chapter 1 says, God sustained them. So I want you to look in the mirror. There's plenty of them in here. And I want you to see that God sustained you. When you think nobody looking, just peep over there for me. And I want you to look at your eyes. I want you to look at your face. When nobody looking, just look at them hands and them scars. When you get home, look at them knees, them scratches on the knees. And I want you to ask yourself, why am I still here in this context? Because we're talking about being born to succeed and to really manifest the success that God has for you. I'm arguing now that you must first understand the context and the circumstance in which you were placed. So then they said, we're going to work you to death, but that didn't work because God's grace sustained them. Then the second thing they said, not only are we going to work them to death, we're going to kill all of the babies. Every baby born, baby boy born, we're going to kill them. We're talking about a context. Over there in China, they have the one-child rule, one child. And over there in China, even to this day, it's an unwritten story. At least it's an unpublicized story. But there's a story of mothers and fathers that have that one child. And then they find out by technology it's a girl. And I only get one child. And there are many stories of how they abort the baby. because I only get one child. You're talking about an evil law. I only get one child, and we want that one child to be a boy. To continue our name, to sustain our name, one child. Well, that's what was going on in Egypt. The one child. Because if it's a boy, they're going to kill all boy babies. And the story goes on that the midwives said, no, we get time, we'll come back to that in a moment. Then the third thing they said, because Pharaoh understood that the babies were being born, he says, I'm going to kill all young boys. That's the third step. I'm going to kill all young boys. Why are you still here? People are dying at an alarming rate through AIDS. Especially young people. Anybody under 25? All y'all that old? Anybody under 30? They're dying at an alarming rate through AIDS. Why you made it? Many people have done something they shouldn't have done, been somewhere they shouldn't have been. Well, why you made it? Why did you make it? Cancer. Cancer is affecting young people at an alarming rate. Why did you make it? Car accidents, drive-by shootings. Why have you made it? When you look at the percentage of certain cultural groups being placed in prison, why are you free? I want you to see the grace of God. I want you to see the context. I want you to see the circumstances in which you were born. Because when you see the circumstance in which you were born, the light going to come on. And you're going to see your purpose. And when you see your purpose, you're going to start operating in your purpose. And when you start operating in your purpose, we're going to see the grace of success cover your life. And we're going to see every step you make go higher and higher and higher and higher because you're doing what you were born to do. Somebody say amen. And so when we look at this lesson, there are three things I'll share with you. I'm going to sit down, then I'm going to get out of here. The first thing is Moses' parents, because the Bible focuses on the parents. Moses' parents, and you can look at Exodus chapter 2 when you get home, but Moses' parents had the faith to hope. Faith to what? Hope. Now, there's a story, and some of you can remember this. Maybe you saw it, Jason, in the early 90s. There was these two characters, these genetic mice that they had by Warner Brothers that would come on TV. It was called Pinky and Brain. Anybody ever seen that? You saw Pinky and Brain. Okay, so Pinky and Brain, they had a hope. And Pinky would say, what we're going to do today? Our Brain would say, what we're going to do today? We're going to take over the world. We're going to take over the world. Now, you know how the episode ended. They did not take over the world. But what happened when the next episode started? What we're going to do today? We're going to take over the world. We're going to take over the world. Now, if two genetic mice in a lab can have enough hope, encouragement to say they're going to take over the world, surely you and I can have a great hope in life. What is your hope? Literally, what is your hope? I'll share some with you. I believe, first of all, that this is one of the greatest churches, period, bar none. Houston, Texas, United States, international, one of the greatest churches. I believe the word that God has placed inside of my being, it is anointed. And when it goes forth, it changes the hearers. I believe that. Now, one of my hope is that God will send a floodgate of people in here. Why? So that they can hear the message of faith. And the message of faith can release something in their lives. So it's my great hope. I bear thee witness. It's my great hope for this church to overflood. It's my great hope not only for the overflood at 10 a.m., but to have so many people, we start at 8 a.m. service. And it's my great hope that they're coming from all creeds, from all nationalities, from all social economic backgrounds, some single, some married, some later in years, some young people. But all of these individuals gathered to hear nothing but what God's word says about belief in him. And that becomes contagious in their heart and they believe. What's your hope? There was one time in my life I wanted to open a restaurant. There was a hope. Then there was a time I hoped I could open two. Then there was a time I hoped that I can open them in multiple states. Then there was a time I hoped I could open up one in Houston. I hope I can open up another one in Houston. I hope I can open up one in New Orleans' French Quarter. I hope. Just a hope, right? All those hopes came to pass by the power of God. What are you hoping for? One time my credit was bad. I was hoping that they give me a car I could drive home. I was hoping. It happened. Told y'all the story the other week. I was hoping somebody pay it off, and I couldn't pay it. I called the bank. The bank said, your car has been paid off. What are you hoping for? What are you believing God for? I'm talking about what's your hope? What's in you? If I call those children out here right now, what do you do? What do you hope? I hope I play in the NBA one day. I hope I'm better than LeBron James one day. I'm going to have more money than Money Mayweather. I hope I get me a Ferrari and a Lamborghini, and I want a truck too. You know, those children had a capacity to believe amazing things. And some type of way, in the context and the circumstance in which we are placed, and as like Moses' mother and father, they were reared and they had to live and they had to function in an environment where the Egyptians were oppressors. They had to function in the environment where the other people had a crab mentality and everybody was watching each other and pulling each other down. And that kind of environment steals your hope. It steals your joy. It stops you from believing. When you cut on the 6 o'clock news and you see what's going on, and then you read the newspaper and you hear what's going on, and then you hear what happened in Baltimore, and then you hear what happened in New York City, and then you hear what happened in other places, that kind of stuff can steal your hope, I want you to know you'll succeed. I want you to know that there is a power inside of you that can't be stopped. It's the power of God. It is that small measure of faith, that ability to believe in God. I'm just asking, it's just a rhetorical question. Ain't nobody but me and you in the room. What's your hope? What's your hope? Really, what's your hope? My hope for one of our members is that their business will just expand. That's my hope. My hope is that they have a transfer center where they bring recycled items and then they send it to the recycling bin. I don't know if it's 5,000 square feet or 10,000 square feet, but I'm hoping it gets to 100,000 square feet. See, I'm hoping that they run out of space. I'm hoping that they have to expand. I'm hoping that God sends some extra staff people there. I'm hoping that some of the largest companies in Houston, Texas will pick up the phone and say, I don't know why I'm calling you, but the Lord told me to call you. Come over here and pick this stuff up, man. See, that's my hope. I don't know whether they're hoping, I'm hoping. There's another member I talked to that works a job, that requires a lot of attention, that requires a lot of devotion, but when nobody's looking, they want to open up a school for young people. Now, I don't know if that member knows, but I'm hoping, I ain't hoping you get fired, I'm just saying. But I'm hoping that you can open up that school. I'm hoping that it happens. What are you hoping for? What is your hope? I'm hoping that you can make it to a 50th anniversary. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that sustain for decade after decade. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping soon the children come. I'm hoping those type things. I'm hoping when school is over that that's a well-paying job for both. I'm hoping these things. What are you hoping? What are you hoping in your spirit? Do not allow your context and your circumstance to keep you silent, Do not allow the death around you. Do not allow the failure around you to cause you to believe your greatness that is inside of you. That Moses that is inside of you, I want you to believe, Becky, it's going to live. It's not only going to live, it's going to be a great deliverer. So we see they had faith